Shadows under the clown's smile. The unraveling of John Wayne Gacy. In the manicured lawns of Norwood Park Township, northwest of Chicago's grind, John Wayne Gacy peddled the American dream with a killer's grin. The 1970s pulsed with polyester highs and hidden lows, gas shortages, Watergate scars, disco escapes, and Gacy mirrored it all. To neighbors on West Somerdale Avenue, he was the jovial contractor behind PDM Contractors, flipping basements and firing up grills for block parties. To Democratic bigwigs, he was a precinct captain goldmine, stuffing envelopes and snapping photos with Rosalind Carter herself in May 1978. And to sick kids at hospitals and fundraisers, he was Pogo the Clown, grease paint beaming under the big top. But beneath the pom-poms and power plays lurked a sadist who raped, tortured, and murdered 33 young men and boys between 1972 and 1978, stuffing most into the crawl space under his ranch house at 8213 West Somerdale, a 28 by 38 foot tomb of clay and concrete, barely 4 feet high, where the earth drank their screams. Born March 17, 1942 in Chicago's rough South Side, Gacy's cradle rocked on abuse. Middle kid in a Polish-Danish Catholic home, he took the brunt from Dad John Stanley, a World War I vet and machinist whose booze-fueled rages branded him dumb and lazy, belting him with a razor strop. Blackouts hit after a head injury at 11, a burst appendix that same year sidelined him for weeks in 1953. Dad sneering it was faked. Mom Marion buffered with love, but the fractures festered. Headaches, hypochondria, whispers, early molestations by a family friend he hid to dodge more beatings. By 20 in 1962, he fled to Las Vegas. Mortuary stint. Necrophilia confession chilling the prelude, crawling into a teen boy's coffin, caressing the cold. Back east, Northwestern Business College led to shoe sales, a 1964 JC's plunge, and marriage to Marlynn Myers, but 1967 cracked it, sodomizing 15-year-old Donald Voorhees in Waterloo, Iowa, after booze and basement lures. Convicted 1968 for sodomy, 10 years in reformatory. He charmed out in 18 months on parole, June 1970. Divorced, slinking to Chicago to launch PDM in 1971, hiring vulnerable teens at $5 an hour. Remarried July 1972 to Carole Hoff, a high school flame with 2 girls. Gacy's split level became Duality's den. Upstairs, clown gigs, family suppers. Downstairs crawl, the killing floor. First plunge, January 3, 1972. Hitchhiker Timothy Jack McCoy, 16-year-old Galesburg, Illinois teen en route to a Navy physical in Chicago. Clutched a kitchen knife in Gacy's guest room at dawn, a sleepy standoff. Gacy stabbed him repeatedly, in frenzy. Dragged a 140-pound frame to the crawl. Lime doused for rot. Concrete sealed the trench. Self-defense, he'd lie, but the power rush hooked him, a god over the young and lost. The brew, childhood rage repressed into sadism, prison ego bloated, closeted homosexuality twisted by shame. Diagnosis later, antisocial personality, sexual sadism, schizophrenia hints, a splintered soul. Pogo the manic mask. His playbook? Prowl bus stops, arcades, his own hires for runaways, hustlers, mostly teens, straight or queer curious, lured by jobs, joints, beer, the handcuff trick from his clown act. Watch me escape, snapping shut with a hidden key demo, then locking for real. Spiked drinks, Valium and soda, chloroform rags, victims woke on the rack. A plywood torture board, ankles chained to a 2x4, arms overhead, inspired by Dean Corll's Houston Hells, basement lamps, glowed sickly as Gacy, nude and raging, raped for hours. Belts, flashing welts, cigarettes, searing flesh, dildos or pill bottles jammed rectally, forced orals till vomit. Deaths dragged deliberate. Rope trick garrots knotted tight around necks, cloth gags or panties crammed throats for asphyxiation, 13 cases, ligatures for 6 more, 1 stabbed like McCoy, 10 undetermined. Some got the tub, revival, dunked in icy bath water till bubbles died, slapped awake for encores, Gacy mangling Psalm 23, though I walk through the valley of the shadow, giggling through the drownings. The tally, 33 proven, Gacy boasting 45, 26 crammed the crawl, lime flecked to Hassan decay, 1 under the garage, John Bukovich, 18, bludgeoned, July 31st, 1975, overpay, 1 under dining floor, Daryl Sampson, 18, April 1976, 1 backyard, body 28, unidentified, 4 to plains, river tosses, when space brimmed. Key graves, May 14th, 1976, Randall Reffett, 15, and Samuel Stapleton, 14, North Side Snatch, jammed side by side as bodies 7 and 6, gags muffling, please. December 12th, 1976, Gregory Gottsick, 17, PDM hand, vanished, post raised spat, body 4 with panties, throat plunged. January 20th, 1976, John Zick, 19, strangled for stolen car, body 3. October 24th, 1976, Kenneth Parker, 16, and Michael Marino, 14, bus stop duo, bodies 15 and 14, bagged heads, torsos, the rest blurred in horror. William Bundy, 19, October 1976, Jerry Bukovich's kin, Francis Wayne, 16, June 1976, Rick Johnston, 19, August 1976, Kenneth Haas, 18, August 1976, unidentifieds, like bodies, 10, 13, 21, 26, hands helped hide it. Coerced PDM teens like Michael Rossi, hired May 1976 at 15, and David Cram, July 1976 at 18. Rossi shoveled Godzik and Zick pits at 3 a.m., hitting soft lumps, lied as trash, fingerprints on duct tape, survived a 77 rack choking, bonuses for silence. Cram dug Parker Marino graves, lime over bones, escaped August, September, assaults, and a pistol-whipped 77 fellatio force, tipped cops anonymously. Gacy bragged, tapes of them holding down prey, coerced pawns, or shadows deeper. Politics shielded, precinct captain under Rep. Dick Walsh, fundraisers with house boys pouring drinks, clout buying blind eyes to whispers. By 1978, the house reeked. Sweet rot, neighbors blamed on freezer meat. Carole fled, 76, with girls. Divorce, March 2nd, 1977. Sighting, strange men, and screams. Grounds, his womanizing, a cover. Gacy amped coke and cop poker. Then, Robert Piest. December 11th, 1978. Frigid Gus, off Lake Michigan. Bob Piest, 15, Maine West sophomore, dreaming dives and Camaros, clocked out at Des Plaines Nissan Pharmacy, PDM remodel done, Gacy's Black Olds, purred, $5 an hour summer gig, double minimum, Mom, 5 minutes, Bob kissed Elizabeth, peace, cheek, gone. She stormed Des Plaines PD at 11:29 p.m. Report filed Lieutenant Joe Kozenchek, father to Bob's classmate. Smelled murder. Pharmacist Phil Trop fingered Gacy. He was here job pitching. Gacy breezed in 3:20 a.m. December 13th. Mud splattered from overnighting beside Piest's body before plastic wrapping, rail tying, and Des Plaines dumping south of Juliet. Haven't seen him. Lied. handing keys for routine check. Cops seize 6 2-year missing high school ring and Piest link. Film receipt. He walked, but tails locked. December 14th, unmarked cars on his weaves. Paranoia spiraled. Booze at Thornwood Tap. Rants of cops tailing. December 19th, invited surveilling officers for eggs. Oblivious to their gag on the death whiff. No warrants yet. December 20th, slurred to his lawyer over drinks. Tortured, raped, killed 30 plus. Willing, runaways, prostitutes. Self-defense claims like Butkovich's. Crew logged 750 hours linking missings. 68 conviction surfaced. Parole violation. Dawn December 21st. Tails watched Gacy pull into Northwest Highways Phillips 66. Leaning out to pass a brown paper bag, half-ounce marijuana to attendant Ronald Road. A wink sealing the petty deal. In 1978, Illinois misdemeanor possession up to a year county. $1,000 fine. Headlines fodder for none, but surveillance flared. Tails melted in as he peeled out, weaving homeward. Cumberland Avenue. Red light, no sirens. Just Detective Frank Skidmore's hand on shoulder. Step out, Mr. Gacy. Cuffed. Roadside. Road snagged for backup. Hauled as a Plains PD radio crackled. Gacy's lawyer relayed confession. Maybe 30. Property burials. Employee dug graves. Probable cause flooded. Warrants hit. En route, Gacy spilled more. Sketched basement map. I-55 bridge. River pointers. Over 30. Trouble teens. Dead. Afternoon siege. Trapdoor ajar. Sump plug yanked. Flooding 2 feet. Murk. Pumped dry 2 hours later. Tech Dale Genty. Belly crawled. Dusk. Flashlight carving. Gloom. Southwest shovel. Putrid flesh. Humorous bone. Murder now. Kid packed whole. Northeast. Kneecap. Southeast. Shins. Skull by torso. Rope. Wrist. Another cranium below. Fourth. Ribs. From trench. Charnel. Confirmed. Coroner. Robert Stein gridded quadrants. Numbered from 1. Shallow pits. Coerced. Drainage lies. Some concrete jackhammered. Common stacks. Lime failed. Bodies bloated. Skeletal. Hair clumped. Skin shed. Ammonia miasma clawing lungs. Cops masking wretches. Eyes streaming. Some bolting airward. Belly drags ground. Knees in clay. Elbows scraped walls. Sparks flew coffin tight. Young bones gut punched IDs. Via dentals. Clothes. Gacy's map guided. 27 house. 5 rivers. But layered. Lies. Bed stashed. 24 hours pre-burial. Planned. January 79. Floor poor. Garage embalmed. Some. On December 22nd, 1978, investigators discovered the first body in John Wayne Gacy's crawl space. Work paused for Christmas on the 24th and 25th, but between December 26th and 29th, multiple bodies were recovered, bringing the total in the crawl space to 26. Autopsies later confirmed 13 deaths by asphyxiation, 6 by strangulation, 1 stabbing, and 10 undetermined. A January 1979 blizzard temporarily slowed excavation until March, when additional bodies were recovered, including a plastic-wrapped skeleton in the backyard and one beneath the dining floor. In April, the clay beneath the house was fully cleared. Further remains were later found in nearby rivers and other locations, including Robert Piest, confirming a total of 33 victims. Trial Circus, February 6th, March 13th, 1980, Cook County. Gacy, 300 pounds in tweed, pleaded insanity, claiming a bad jack cop alter ego who hated gays and multiple personalities. 5 psychiatrists supported a schizophrenia diagnosis, but the evidence was overwhelming. Bound victims on the rack, ropes, and 2x4s, Polaroids of the assaults, 116 pounds of physical evidence, and Gacy's own basement map. Survivors, Rignall and Donnelly, testified, describing the horrific tortures as carved carrion. Rossi and Cram stood in court, denying involvement, but admissions about lime and trench burials sealed the case. Gacy's 1967 sodomy conviction and Stein's forensic testimony on gag methods and asphyxiation counts further condemned him. He ranted about a possessed clown twin in court. The jury deliberated just 1 hour and 50 minutes, returning a guilty verdict on March 12th for 33 murders and assaults on Robert Piest, setting a U.S. record for a single perpetrator. Judge Louis B. Garippo sentenced him to death for each post-1977 killing under new laws declaring no mitigation for such calculated cruelty. Menard Row, 14 years, appeals, clown paintings hawked, thousands. May 10, 1994, lethal injection. Last meal, KFC bucket, shrimp, strawberries, IV clogged once. Final, kiss my ass, to cheering guard. Veils hang over the crawl, accomplices or shadows imagined. Gacy pointed to Rossi and Cram, whispered names and tapes. Rignall's ghost lingered. Hustler Philip Pask vanished in rumors. 2 or 3 helpers, the recordings hinted, leaving gaps for 5 more. 45 victims, some bodies never traced, drifting in rivers like forgotten echoes. 5 remained unidentified in the crawl, whispers of Houston horrors and distant trips like the 2012 Allegheny stubs, political shields, silent machines buried the 33 confirmed pits in a mire of secrecy. Gacy's grin slinks through memory, smiles, not fangs, masking the fiends beneath. Norwood's lot lies barren, clay scraped bare, but the earth still murmurs. The 33 silenced, survivors roar from the shadows. We lived, we remember, we speak.